Hey everybody, this is Jordan with Tech Nerds. Glad to be back with you guys. So I want to continue on down the line with what we've been doing so far this week. We're going to be bringing to you guys another Bluetooth speaker that I would highly recommend that you consider if you're looking for a budget Bluetooth speaker that doesn't weigh a lot, you can throw in a bag with you, has the waterproof capabilities and pretty solid sound quality. And that speaker is the Sowo Bluetooth speaker. Now, there's a Sowo Pro, I believe it is, that is a 40-watt speaker. This is going to be the little brother to that. And this thing is a super awesome speaker. I've been using it for a little while now, just testing it out, and really, really impressed with what this thing can do. And this kind of just goes to show, just like all the other speakers that we've been showing recently, man, there's a lot of brands out there that maybe they don't get the recognition because they're not the Bose, they're not the Sony, they're not the names that everyone trusts, and I totally understand that. But man, if you can find that diamond in the rough, and some stuff like this is the great example. There's some awesome technology out there that is going to definitely come through for you for any party that you're going to. If you're going to hang out with some friends, you want to just carry a Bluetooth speaker on your backpack. If you're going hiking, you want to throw it in the water with you while you're in the pool or in the river or something like that. Man, this is a great little speaker, just like the ones that we talked about before, to be able to fill that niche. So, as I was mentioning with all the other speakers before, this is a $20 speaker on Amazon. This thing is a great little speaker. This thing is a 12-watt speaker, so this thing has some pretty solid sound. I highly recommend listening to it, which we will in just a little bit. But and remember, when we get to that point, be sure to put headphones on. But this 12-watt speaker, so you have solid sound given the size and everything, and you have 24 hours of battery life on this guy. So pretty impressive battery specs on this guy. That's going to be able to keep up with the Anker speaker that we talked about before. Really, really good all-day battery life. Now, obviously, keep in mind that's not going to be at full volume. Usually that's going to be at a half volume in order to get that kind of battery life out of it. But really good speaker despite that. You have IP67 dust and water resistance. So once again, you can dunk this thing underwater for 20, 30 minutes and it's going to be fine. It'll survive. But with most of these speakers, you're not really going to have an issue with this thing floating on top of the water and doing what it needs to do. Obviously, if you don't have to throw your speaker in the water, try not to do that. But man, this thing is going to go with you and be your companion everywhere you go. Really great little speaker. So this thing weighs about half a pound. Also, you have the basic buttons. You have the play and pause, and then you have the center button to be able to turn things on and whatnot. You have the Bluetooth buttons that are over here and the USB-C port. So you have Bluetooth, and then you have a new pairing button and stuff. So if you want to be able to pair to some other speakers and whatnot, you have a nice plastic/rubber outer shell. You got a little back area over here with some rubber around for a little bit of, a little softer. Still fairly hard plastic, but a little bit softer feet to be able to kind of hold this thing down no matter where it's going. Really great build quality, feels awesome. And what's this one has versus some of the other ones that we've seen before is this one actually has a magnet on the back. So especially, we talked about the last speaker being a good golf companion. This is also a great example of what would be a great golf companion if you're going out and going to the course. You can actually magnetize this one up onto one of the arms of the golf cart or something like that. Or even if you're in the kitchen, you want to magnetize this to the fridge, or if you're hanging out somewhere and you decide to magnetize this somewhere to something, that's also going to make that somewhat of a passive radiator that you're going to be hitting that sound on, so you can amplify the sound a little bit depending on what you magnetize it to. And also, it's just a great little spot to stick it. And I can't really show you guys anything right now. I don't have anything super metal to be able to magnetize it to, but this is going to be a great little speaker for that. And you'll see all the details if you guys want to check out our Amazon affiliate link. It'll be in the description below. But it's a great place to go pick this thing up, and highly recommend the speaker. Bluetooth 5.4, so you have a solid connection up to 40 feet. And aside from that, it pretty much fits the spec of just about every other speaker that we've talked about to this point. So there's really not a lot of extra explaining to do. You got your basic buttons. The thing is a good quality. And I think more than anything, we're just going to kind of go over some of the few more little small specs, but we'll switch over to the overhead view. All right, so like I say, this is the Sowo Bluetooth speaker. And like I mentioned before, you do have your volume plus, your volume minus, and then your a button to turn on and off speaker. And then on the side, you have your Bluetooth if you want to pair up. And then you have this other like sync speaker if you want to be able to add another one to do like a stereo pair, you could potentially do that. And then you have a USB-C port in the center. It's good to always have that the current technology. Every once in a while you'll come across something that might be a micro USB, and I think everyone at this point has kind of moved on to USB-C. So it's nice to have that. You have rubber feet on the bottom of the speaker, so if you want to set it down, it should hold wherever it's going to be at. And you also have some little bit softer touch feet are here as well, so if you want to set it down with it facing up, you can do that as well, and it's going to hold pretty solid. Pretty good solid metal front here, so you have a nice metal grill, or at least from what I can tell seems to be metal. You have the plastic Sowo, and I mean these are hard plastics along the outside, but man, this feels really good, really solid speaker. You also have the loop like what we had mentioned before, so if you want to throw a clip on that, if you want to hang it I don't know, wherever you want to hang it, you have the option to be able to do that. Other than that, really good speaker. And I think more than anything, what everybody wants to hear is what does it actually sound like? So we're going to go ahead and get into the sound test, but we'll go ahead and start with turning it on. Gotta love that. Really love these little on notifications when these things get turned on. Super cool. I just dig that sound a lot. Having said that, we are going to pair this one up, or at least make sure it's paired to our device. All right, and there we are connected to our Bluetooth speaker. So now the big test, which we are going to do right now, is we're going to go ahead and try some stuff out, some sound clips, and we're going to give this thing a shot. Okay. First, let me go ahead and pull up my clips here on that MindTunes app. And having said that, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, we'll start out with some basic music. Okay, start out at about 50% volume. What you're probably going to see for the most part, if you want to get that 24-hour battery life. Highly encourage everyone to put headphones on if you guys want to, or listen to it through some nice speakers. All right, we'll go ahead and bring it up to 75% volume. All right, 100% volume. All right, pretty solid. Okay, we'll go ahead and switch up the song. There's some rock music. All right, 50% volume. All right, let's bring it up to 75. All right, 100%. Nice, very nice. And now we'll do some lo-fi type music. You guys might recognize this from the intro video. Actually, let's change this up. Let's go to this one. Decent bass. Highly appreciate that. Let's go 75%. All right, and then finally we're going to go up to 100%. Wow. Solid bass, that thing bumps. All right. Go ahead and pause that. So, as you guys can hear for yourself, really good sound volume, guys. I'm really happy with this. I mean, I've been fairly impressed with all the little small Bluetooth speakers we had up to this point, but man, this is just no exception. And I think what I really like about this one is I love the magnetic back that you have here. So if you want to be able to magnetize this to something, it just makes it easy to carry around. Gives you another thing that aside from just, you know, clipping the little loop on here, you can also magnetize this to anything that's around you. Just makes things a lot more convenient. And like I say, just for sheer size, this thing is easily portable. Carry it with you. Like I said, half a pound. You have that IP67 water resistance, so you know that despite it raining or if you're around water, any of those things, the thing's going to be great. So having said that, let's go ahead and jump back to the regular camera. All right. So, man, this little speaker, really solid. Really happy with the Sowo. And I mean, a lot could be said with a lot of these, you know, smaller brand Bluetooth speakers. These things are great little speakers, guys. I highly recommend picking one of these up if you get a chance. Like I say, we'll have the affiliate link below. You guys can pick one of these up if you want to. And we're also making some short form stuff on TikTok and soon to be Instagram. So hopefully we'll have some other stuff if you want to just get, you know, quick little snippets or synopses of what we're trying to say here. Man, that'll be another way to be able to get that content. But really great little speaker. Encourage everyone to maybe give this one a shot if you've been on the fence about picking one up. Man, this one or the Diaple or D-Apple one that we had last week, or even the Anchor one, everything up to this point has been really solid, great sound quality, and I'd highly recommend it for myself or anyone around me. So having said that, we're going to go ahead and end this video. This has been the Sowo Mini Bluetooth speaker, and I would definitely recommend this to anyone that wants to pick something up for a good budget price. $20, you can't go wrong. But until next time, this is Jordan with Tech Nerds. Stay nerdy.